Lesson number 3, Learning Center. In the previous lesson, we reviewed signing the enrollment agreement and changing the role of the applicant to the student. In the user area, he now appears visually different from other applicants. With this function, the school manager can quickly scan the list and notice the applicants requiring further assistance or follow-up. Let's look inside John's account profile so that you may see which functionality features have changed within his personal account by changing his role to student. On the login page, we will choose the role of student and enter John's email address and password, which he entered during registration. The first thing that catches our eye is the balance owed. However, we will review how to work with applicants' balances and payments in the next lesson. Please note that both students and applicants can make payments from their account profiles as long as the tuition cost has been assigned to the applicant. We will discuss how this is done in greater detail in the next lesson. The link to the Learning Center is located just below the profile data. The color of the button and the student's progress are connected. As the student progresses closer to completing the training, the color of the button will turn to green. The Learning Center includes 35 video lessons and corresponding tests. The instruction provided within the Learning Center delivers the essential learning components of entry-level driver training to meet all new training requirements set forth by FMCSA's new entry-level driver training standards. The behind-the-wheel instruction, of course, is provided by instructors of the school, which we will discuss later. Click on the Learning Center button. Within the Learning Center page, the student can monitor their progress of completed entry-level driver training lessons. The Learning Center consists of a list of lessons, which are accompanied by a percentage of completeness indicators and test indicators. Lessons can be viewed out of order, but we recommend following the list. This will allow students to fully comprehend the presented material. For the purpose of this video, we've made some preliminary preparations to show you the whole process, not just the beginning. Please note that the progress of the first video is not 0%. This will not be the case for new students. This was done solely for the purpose to demonstrate the features of the Learning Center progress and features of passing tests. The Learning Center page and the video lesson player, as you probably already guessed, are adapted for viewing on all types of devices. The goal is to make entry-level driver training as convenient as possible for your student. Give your student the level of service provided through the BoltCDL software, or they will surely recommend your school to a friend. The convenience of tracking a student's progress is that as students watch the training videos and pass tests, this information is recorded and immediately sent to the school for administrators to view from their account. If a school provides theory training and behind-the-wheel instruction in group sessions, and not individually, then the percentage of students' progress will help school managers assign students to group sessions. With Bolt School Management software, we have gathered all the needed resources for you to provide your students with quality education and run your entire school from one platform. We use sessions to determine if a student and an admin are logged into the system. The duration of one session for a student is 6 hours, and for an administrator is 12 hours. After the specified time has elapsed, the session in the system will be considered completed, and the user will have to log in again if they need more time. Your students will not be able to use multiple devices at the same time for viewing the entry-level driver training videos, for example, running several lessons at the same time, in order to save time and speed up the process. Why would they do it? It's very simple. We prohibit multiple viewing sessions of video lessons, and fast-forwarding a video is not possible either. A student is only able to rewind a certain part of the lesson to repeat the lesson. The completed progress for each video lesson is saved and is the starting point for subsequent viewings of this lesson. Our system obliges the student to watch the entire lesson, thus increasing the quality of his assimilation. Tests. The test is available after each lesson when the student has at least 85% viewed percentage of the total duration of a video. As a rule, most tests contains 10 multiple choice questions, although there are several with 5 questions. A student is given 3 attempts to pass each, after which the system shuffles the answers in random order and provides an additional 3 attempts. This is done so that it would be impossible to simply copying the correct answers without reading and understanding the question. This also improves the quality of learning. In the Learning Center, the color-coded test indicators mean the following. A gray indicator means that the test is scheduled, but the student has not started it yet. Red means the test was failed, and green means the test was successfully passed. The viewed percentage is located nearby and increases when a student clicks on the lesson within the Learning Center. In the student's account profile, the system provides an average of progress, which includes both the viewed percentage and the completed percentage on tests. The system is set at a standard 85% acceptable passing score. If this is acceptable for your school, then you can continue without any changes to the system. Finally, let me show where an administrator can monitor a student's learning progress. To do this, log out of the student account and return to the admin account profile. First, notice the change in the recruitment chart on the front page. It shows you that you recruited 1 student in June. Excellent. Let's click on the chart column. Upon request, the system has generated a report called the student list in the system. This is a report specifically for students, not applicants, unlike the user area, which contains the main parameters of their training. We will talk about the student list in detail in the next lessons. For now, all you need to remember is that such a report exists, and it is extremely useful for working with students. The list can be sorted according to various criteria, depending on the user's goal. In our particular case, we are interested in John's progress in the Learning Center. Scroll to the right and here it is, 1.4% completed. Are you interested in the details? No problem, click on the percentage, and the system will redirect you to John's profile, which contains the details of completed lessons within the Learning Center. This is the flexibility of the student list. Click on the section you are interested in and you can always study it in detail and view its components. So, we see progress on the first module, on the second one, and see what happens with the student's tests. There are situations when a student needs to be banned from accessing the training. For example, in a situation where you have not received the next payment from a student. To do this, on the same tab within the student's data, there is a checkbox to disable training. You will be able to turn it on the same way.